Jai Hind, everyone. So today we'll continue with another or second topic of first unit of paper 2, that is classification of gymnosperms. Initially 370 to 285 BC, that is before Christ, Theophrastus has given the term gymnosperm. He was the first to use this term. He wrote a book, Historia Plantarum, an inquiry into the plants. In these books, he mentioned these two words, angiosperm and gymnosperm. This is for the first time it came into existence. Then in 1827, Robert Brown further analyzed about these plants. He for the first time recognized gymnosperms as a distinct group from angiosperm. Why? Due to the presence of naked ovules. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है जो कि जिम्नोस्पर्मिक प्लांट्स में है और जिसको रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने 1827 में पहली बार ये बात रिकॉग्नाइज की कि ये एंजियोस्पर्मिक प्लांट से डिफरेंट है. Why they are different? Because these plants or gymnospermic plants have ovules similar to that of angiosperm, but they are naked. Structurally, they are also different, but these plants have ovules or they bear ovules. Then different schemes of classification has been put forward by different gymnospermists. और टाइम टू टाइम इनमें वेरिएशन होता रहा. आई थिंक 9 सेट्स ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन हैव बीन पुट फॉरवर्ड. लेकिन हम लोग कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्लासिफिकेशंस लेंगे जो जेन्युइन बेसिस पे हैं. जैसे आप लोग टेक्सोनॉमी में भी पढ़ रहे हैं, फाइलोजेनेटिक क्लासिफिकेशन, नेचुरल सिस्टम ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन, आर्टिफिशियल सिस्टम ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन, ये उनका भी पार्ट है. लेकिन चूंकि जिम्नोस्पर्म को इस तरह से कैटेगराइज नहीं किया गया लाइक एंजियोस्पर्म, कुछ क्लासिफिकेशन में जैसे बेंथम एंड हुकर ने डाइकॉट और मोनोकॉट के बीच में जिम्नोस्पर्म को रखा था. तो इस तरह से क्लासिफिकेशन के साथ इनका भी क्लासिफिकेशन चलता रहा. लेकिन स्पेसिफिकली जिम्नोस्पर्म को अलग ट्रीट करके जो क्लासिफिकेशन दिए गए उनको हम डिफरेंट स्कीम्स ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन कहते हैं. और उसमें जो मेन बात यह है कि जिम्नोस्पर्म को एज डिवीजन ट्रीट किया जाए, है ना. इट हैज बीन रेज्ड अप टू द रैंक ऑफ डिवीजन. Now, some system of classification, we treat them as old system of classification. These old system of classification again started with Robert Brown because he was the first to identify gymnosperm and an angiosperm separately. Then Brongniart in 1843 included these gymnosperm under dicotyledons. So वो एक तरह से ovule bearing plants के साथ इनको ट्रीट किया जाता रहा. Then I came to already told you about Bentham and Hooker. Bentham and Hooker in 1862 to 83 placed them between the dicots and monocots, as told you earlier. So these are treated as phanerogams. Phanerogams means flower bearing plants. So whether flower is present in gymnosperm or not, we'll discuss later on. Then these are placed between dicotyledons and monocotyledons. And then gymnosperm, dicots divided separately and monocots also divided separately or classified. These gymnosperms divided into orders. These orders were Cycadaceae, Coniferae and Neetaceae. But you can see here, हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी पढ़ा है ब्रायोफिटिक प्लांट्स के साथ और आप एंजियोस्पर्म में भी पढ़ रहे हैं. द एंडिंग ऑफ द टैक्सॉन मैच ईच अदर मीन सिमिलर होना चाहिए और ऑर्डर के लिए एल्स यूज किया गया. तो हम ये समझ रहे हैं कि बेंथम एंड हुकर में इसको CEAE मीन्स ये जस्ट लाइक फैमिली, नीटेसी लाइक फैमिली, कॉनिफेरी इज नॉट एंडिंग एज फैमिली. तो इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं ये लैकुना बेंथम एंड हुकर में रहा. आप लोग पेन पेपर लेकर के नोट करिए. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू शेयर इट ऑन यूट्यूब. So already told you to join here. So these are divided into 3 orders by Bentham and Hooker. Then coming to 1898, von Tegum, he, on the basis of some earlier embryological and developmental studies, these are the natural system, removed gymnosperm from this intermediate position. तो डाइकॉट मोनोकॉट के बीच में से जिम्नोस्पर्म को रिमूव कर दिया गया and considered them as spermatophyta. It's a group of plants divided into two divisions, treated them as separate divisions, gymnosperms and angiosperms, or they were named as astigmati and stigmati. Spermatophyta means sperm bearing plants or spore bearing plants. Sperms कहते हैं, usually means they have full developed reproductive organs. They form embryo and they are divided into two, astigmati and stigmati. Stigmati means stigma is present and stigma is absent. So these features on the basis of embryological studies treated into two separate divisions. Now coming to, I'm taking only the important one for your study. If it comes as a long answer question, classification of gymnosperm, so you have to write all system of classification for 15 marks, right? As I am teaching you over here. But if comes as a short answer question, then a specific classification may be asked in the short answer question, or the classification which is proper, popular, and we are using in our books or studying according to those, that classification, you have to write that, if not specifically asked for short answer. Now coming in recent means we are in 20th century now, and other classifications were before 20th century. Then Coulter and Chamberlain in 1910 divided the gymnosperm into 7 orders. Directly gymnosperm treated as division and divided into 7 orders. जो मैं बोल रही हूँ आप उसको लिखते भी जाइए क्योंकि सारी लैंग्वेज यहाँ नहीं है. So you have to write those points. Some of the orders are quite extinct. इनमें से कुछ ऑर्डर जो 7 ऑर्डर्स हैं उनमें से एक्सटिंक्ट या फॉसिल्स हैं and they are not found present day, and others are present or the living gymnosperms. So you may note down these points. Okay, coming to all 7 orders, the first is Cycadophylicales. The first is Cycadophylicales. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया भी था, इसमें 2 terms included हैं, cycads और filicales means pteridophyte, means these orders consist of plants having both characters of pteridophytes as well as gymnosperm. These are not now present, these are extinct, and fossil remains are observed or found, and they are reconstructed to form the genera. Then second order is Bennytitales. We may also call them as Cycadiodales. This is also extinct now. Fossil remains are there and genera are in your course. Then third order is Cycadales. This is very old order from Mesozoic to present day. They are still present and they are living. Cycas you used to study in Cycadales. Zamia used to study. Then coming to Chordates, the 4th order, it is also extinct. Chordates you are going to study as a fossil genera. Then Gingoes, 5th order. Among all, this is oldest order, but formed later on, but as fossil genera are observed. Sister species of Ginkgo, Gingoites from Paleozoic to present day. They are also present. And few genera are there. Ginkgo is especially under Gingoes, Gingoaceae, called as living fossil. Then coniferales from Paleozoic to present day. They are also old ones. And maximum genera of coniferales are living. Then last order is Nettale. It is called as the advanced or current or recent order. Sometimes question comes as describe the recent order among the gymnosperm, right? Important characters of that order. An order has not been given, but that is Nettales. Or genus may come. Okay, now coming to another classification that is in 1920 Professor Birbal Sahni, an eminent Indian botanist, gave the first phylogenetic system of classification for the classification of gymnosperm. Phylogeny consider करते हुए classification दिया गया on the basis of important character, that is morphological nature of ovule bearing organs. On that basis, he has given the first phylogenetic system of classification. He divided the gymnosperm into two large groups and termed them as Philospermy and Stachyspermy. As the name is indicating, Philospermy, they comprise of Pteridosperms and Saccharophyta. In these two groups of plants are added, Pteridosperms and Saccharophyta, and specifically Cycadales and Bennytitales under Saccharophyta. The seeds are being inserted on the modified leaves. Leaves are modified in the reproductive parts called as sporophylls, like microsporophylls or megasporophylls, male and female reproductive leaves. Means reproductive organs are present on the modified leaves. Now, second is Stachyspermy. This group includes the order Coniferophyta, as given by Chamberlain. They are more or less microphylous plants. Microphylous means leaves are small. Normal vegetative leaves were small. And seeds inserted on the stem-like structure. This is the major difference, stachy, stem, phyllo, leaves. Right? So this classification given by Birbal Sahni. How he classified? Gymnosperms classified into two major groups, Stachyspermy, Philospermy and Stachyspermy. They are further divided into orders. Philospermy divided into 3 orders. And Stachyspermy divided into 4 orders. How? These 3 orders of Philospermy were Cycadophilices, Cycadales, and Bennytitales. Under Bennytitales, Pteridosperms were also included because they are very much similar to them and other characters were not studied till, so it is included with Bennytitales. Then Stachyspermy divided into Gingoales, Chordates, second order, third Coniferales, and fourth order Taxales. Taxales में जो genera रखे गए, those were Taxus, Toraya, and Cephalotaxus only. For these 3 genera, this order has been created separately. Okay. The important thing I have noted over here, Sahni did not place details at anywhere in this classification, in his classification. So this was the drawback. He has not placed details anywhere. Omission of details was the greatest drawback of Birbal Sahni's classification. Okay. Now moving further, in 1934, Chamberlain divided gymnosperm into 2 large groups. First, Saccharophyta. They may be treated as classes, but not clearly written. So, and Coniferophyta. So they are calling them as 2 groups of gymnosperms. Saccharophyta, Coniferophyta. Psychedophyta further divided into 3 orders. These orders were Psychedophilicales, first order, with which pteridospermy was placed. And because pteridospermy is very much similar to cycads, primitive cycads or the fossil cycads. This is extant group, fossil group. Second, now sequentially placed by Chamberlain. This is very popular classification, means one after another according to their development or evolution they were placed. Psychedophilicales very near to pteridophytes or felical members. Second, Benititales, or this is also called as psychodiurals, as told you earlier. This group is also fossil group. Next, third order is Psychedales, Mesozoic to present day. Gymnosperm were kept in this. These all are living or extinct gymnosperms. Extinct, extinct and extinct, I told you. Extinct is fossil ones, extinct means living one or the present one. Then second group, Coniferophyta, is again divided into 4 orders. First order, Gingoids, Paleozoic to present day. This is oldest one. And living. Some are fossils, some are living. Choriotes, second. This is extinct group or extinct order. Third, Coniferals. Again, Paleozoic to present day, some fossils, some living. And Needles, all living or recent gymnosperms or developed or evolved gymnosperms. Now coming to 1938, Raizada and Sahani. Indian gymnospermists have major contribution for gymnosperms too. They have classified gymnosperm into 2 orders, similarly as given by Chamberlain. Instead of phyta, written as phytes. Psychedophytes A and B coniferophytes. Psychedophytes and coniferophytes. Psychedophytes divided into 4 orders. These orders were first, Pteridospermi, टेरिडोस्पर्मी है ना, नोट डाउन कर रहे हैं. एल्स नहीं कहा गया, टेरिडोस्पर्मेल्स नहीं कहा गया, ड्रॉबैक यहीं पे शुरू हुआ. साइकिडोफिलिकेल्स की जगह इसको नाम दिया टेरिडोस्पर्मी instead of psychedophilicals, which is treated as psychedophilicals. These were Carboniferous gymnosperms. These are extinct ones or the fossils. ये ब्रैकेट में हम लोग नेम लिख रहे हैं which are synonymous today. Second is Psychodiorales, initially treated as Benititales, Mesozoic gymnosperms, extinct one or fossil. Then Psychedales, similarly Mesozoic to present day or the living gymnosperms. And fourth order is Pentoxylales. It is added, right? So mark it. This is addition of a new order, Pentoxylales. And fossil studies show that they are from Jurassic period, Mesozoic era and Jurassic period. Then second major group Coniferophytes divided into 4 orders. First order Coditales from Paleozoic, extinct one. Similarly, second order Gingoales, Paleozoic to present day, some fossil genera, few living or living fossil order. Third, Coniferales, Paleozoic to Mesozoic and to present day. Some fossils, some living. Then here Nettales are added as a recent one. So trying to complete the order sequence. So time to time changes have been made to the classification. These classifications are given in many old books and very popular at that time. Slowly and gradually smaller changes or little changes change these classification to the books. But Coulter and Chamberlain has written the book in which all old classifications are mentioned, including his classification. I have told you the reference of book of Coulter and Chamberlain also separately. Then coming to Arnold system, 1948 C.A. Arnold. This is very popular classification given by him, and for several years it has been given in books, and still today we are studying this classification. Regarding the classification of Gymnosperm, Arnold quoted by saying, "It is now believed that the term Gymnospermy as a group name has outlived its usefulness and should be dropped, or it should be retained only as a common name without taxonomic status in the modern classification." मैं कहा कि जिम्नोस्पर्म ऐसा ग्रुप ऑफ प्लांट्स है, अब इस टर्म को हमें कैरी ऑन करना चाहिए और नहीं तो इसको टैक्सोनॉमिक स्टेटस से बाहर ले जाकर के मॉडर्न सिस्टम ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन में, क्योंकि एक सेपरेट ग्रुप ऑफ प्लांट्स है. Not under gymnosperm. Gymnosperm should not be treated with angiosperm or pteridophytes. He divided this classification treating as ट्रैकियोफाइटा. मैंने जिम्नोस्पर्म नहीं माना और कहा कि ये नहीं चलेगा, इसको ड्रॉप आउट कर देना चाहिए और इसकी जगह पर इसको एक कॉमन ग्रुप ट्रैकियोफाइटा ट्रीट करना चाहिए. व्हाई ट्रैकियोफाइटा? Trachid bearing plants. And this is very true. Gymnosperm do not have vessels in their xylem tissue. They have tracheads, like pteridophytes. Pteridophytes also do not contain vessels in their xylem tissue. तो इनको एक ही साथ रखिए, एक ग्रुप बनाइए, अलग अलग इनके साथ उनके साथ न ट्रीट करके इनको एक ग्रुप में रखा जाए. Then this Tracheophyta is divided into Psilopsida, in which Xylotum you study in pteridophytes, Lycopsida, Lycopodium you study in pteridophytes, Sphenopsida, and Pteropsida. 4 Opsida or classes should be maintained under this division, Tracheophyta. Then these are the separate ones I have given you. These are very much similar to pteridophytes, or these are pteridophytes rather to say, and under the Pteropsida, he placed pteridophyta. This is misleading. These all are pteridophytes, we know today. But he treated them as, or dekha bhi hai, deceptive name. This name is not came into exist or not exist now, और तब भी था कि इसको पहले pteridophyta group already form हो चुका था, तो क्यों इनको separate किया जाए? But he has done it according to Trachid's presence. Second, Pseudocyphyta. Third, Gingophyta. Fourth, Coniferophyta. Fifth, Chlamydospermophyta. अब देख लीजिए जहां changes हो रहे हैं. And next is Angiosperm. So taken into account, this is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 group of plants. May be treated as subclass. Now under Pseudocyphyta, three orders were placed. These three orders were Cycadales. Now order has been changed. Cycadales को Pteridospermi से पहले ही रख दिया गया. Pteridospermi, जिसको Cycadophilicales कह रहे हैं, और Cycadiodales. तो order of the order or Canary system or sequence of the group order has been changed. Then under Coniferophyta, before giving Coniferophyta, he has placed Gingophyta in between. Cycadophyta and Coniferophyta, the place of Gingophyta in between these two. Gingophyta is divided into two orders, जो कि पहली बार किया गया. Gingophyta separate नहीं था, इसको हमने higher rank पे नहीं रखा था, इसको order rank पे था. Gingoales, इसमें order Gingoales और Corditales को Gingophyta में place कर दिया गया, क्योंकि कुछ similarities थी. Now Coniferophyta is divided into two orders only. These two orders were Coniferales and Taxales. Then new subclass has been added, that is Chlamydospermophyta, in which two order has been created, one Nettales, another Ephedrales. Angiosperm has been taken from Pteropsida separately, treated as covered ovules. Now see, Pteropsida divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subclasses. Then again, इनके बारे में नहीं अभी यहाँ कोई प्लेस हुआ. जो Gymnosperm treat किए गए, means similar features having plants, Gymnosperm term नहीं use की और इनको further orders में divide किया. और these are 9 orders. Now orders number has been raised. Okay, coming 1919 to 2001, so ये इनका ईयर है, मतलब फ्रॉम बर्थ टू डेथ ईयर. प्रोफेसर दिव्य दर्शन पंत, in short known as Professor D.D. Pant, an excellent teacher as well as distinguished visionary. He was the founder of a strong school of research in paleobotany. है ना? कहाँ पर? इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी. And मॉर्फोलॉजी इन द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बॉटनी ऑफ इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी. इनके नाम से डीडी पंत लैब भी बनी हुई है पहले बॉटनी की. अगर कोई वहां का रहने वाला हो या वहां जाए तो यू कैन गो एंड सी. इफ यू गिव आवर रेफरेंस, मी और डॉक्टर आगस, you will be allowed to visit that lab. So he was fully devoted and dedicated to cause of botany. कभी कभी इन पे शॉर्ट नोट आता है ना डीडी पंत पे, तो इसीलिए मैंने थोड़ा लिटरेचर इसमें ऐड किया है. यू मे ऐड मोर पॉइंट्स. इवन ड्यूरिंग हिज रिटायर्ड लाइफ, दिस कैन बी वेल नोन बाय एन इंसिडेंट. एक इंसिडेंट था जब उन्होंने ये कहा, ही सेंट एन एडवांस लेटर टू वाइस चांसलर ऑफ इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी स्टेटिंग ही एक्सप्रेस्ड हिज विश फॉर नॉट होल्डिंग एनी कॉन्डोलेंस मीटिंग एट हिज डेथ. उन्होंने कहा मेरी डेथ हो तो आप कॉन्डोलेंस नहीं करवाइएगा, है ना. So that work is not hampered. यानी इंस्टीट्यूट बंद नहीं होना चाहिए, प्लीज डोंट डू सो. और हम लोग भी डे टू डे बात करते हैं. कॉन्डोलेंस के बाद कॉलेज की छुट्टी हो जाती है. एनी टाइम यू कम टू कॉलेज एंड you come to know that there is condolence and department is closed. So this should be followed. This is very important message he has given to us. Then Professor Pant in 1957, given the classification, he divided Gymnosperm. Gymnosperm treated as complete group of separate plants. And he divided this group into divisions, 3 divisions. Means those classes were raised to the order of division. जैसे Cycadopsida और Coniferopsida लिया गया था, उनको classes कहा गया था, but it is raised to the division. Cycadophyta, second division Chlamydospermophyta, and third division Coniferophyta. spermophyta of Arnold has been retained because it is having some different features. Later on, it has been converted into Neotopsida. Then Psychedophyta has four classes: Pteridospermopsida, Psychedopsida, Pentosylopsida, and Psychediodopsida. They were placed according to development. Then Chlamydospermophyta have class Neotopsida. And Coniferophyta has class Coniferopsida, Ephedropsida. One important class has been added, that is Zecanosciopsida. Zecanosciopsida. Then fourth is Texopsida. Instead of taxes, it has been raised to the rank of classes. तो बहुत सारी चीजें जो ऑर्डर की रैंक पे थी उनको क्लासेस की रैंक पे ले आए, और जो क्लास का रैंक था वो डिवीजन का रैंक कर दिया. तो पंत की क्लासिफिकेशन में ये चेंजेस हुए. Then coming to the major modifications proposed by Dr. Pant. The first मैंने अभी बता भी दिए हैं आपको, मैं फिर भी एक बार रीड आउट करती हूँ quickly. The rank of division has been suggested for Psychedophyta, Chlamydospermophyta, and Coniferophyta. Already told you, suffixes for each class and order have been used strictly according to the recommendations. ऑप्सिडा यूज किया गया, जैसे ICBN में दिया गया था, अर्श ने दिया था 1956 में सिमिलरली. देन ऑर्डर सच एज ग्लॉसोप्टेरिडेज, पेल्टास्पर्मेल्स, कोरिस्टोस्पर्मेल्स एंड कैटोनियल्स हैव बीन इंक्लूडेड इन क्लास टेरिडोस्पर्मोप्सिडा. तो टेरिडोस्पर्मोप्सिडा की जो ऑर्डर से को इंक्लूड किया गया. A new class Ephedropsida has been created with order Ephedrines under Coniferophyta. For genus Zecanoscia, a new order Zecanosciales and the class Zecanosciopsida has been proposed. Then division Chlamydospermophyta has been placed in between Psychedophyta and Coniferophyta. And the order Pentosylase has been included under class Pentosylopsida under division Psychedophyta. तो मैंने आपको डीडी पंत तक का क्लासिफिकेशन पढ़ा दिया है. Next, I will move to another classification by Raizada and Sahani. We have less time. इसको मैं complete कर देती हूँ. Then 1960, Raizada and Sahani, given the classification, he divided gymnosperm into 3 divisions similar to that, but names have been misspelled. As division, Psychedophytes. Second division, Pentosylates. The terminology has been changed. And the third is Coniferophytes. Then 3 classes included in Psychedophytes: Pteridospermales, Psychediodales, and Psychedales. Sequence has been changed. In Pentosylates Psychedophytes से अलग कर दिया गया और एक सेपरेट डिवीजन बना दिया, और इसमें ऑर्डर पेंटोजाइलेज रख दिया गया. इसमें कोई क्लास नहीं है, सीधे ऑर्डर की टर्मिनोलॉजी को यूज किया गया. कैसे? एज क्लासेस. दिस टर्मिनोलॉजी इज नॉट एडमिसिबल लेटर ऑन, है ना. तो ये क्लासिफिकेशन चला कुछ दिन, बट नॉट बिकेम पॉपुलर. Then Coniferophytes, again classes were named as ales, Coditales, Gingoales, Coniferales, Neetales. Neetales has been separate from other groups. तो ये क्लासिफिकेशन दिया गया, कुछ इंडियन बुक्स में, कुछ बुक्स में चला, बट ओके. तो tomorrow I'll continue with the classification of embryo 1961. I'm stop sharing my slide. If you have any question, any query, you may write in the chat box or raise your hand. Any problem, any query? Tomorrow I will take your offline class also, but classification I'll complete online. I'll give you many things tomorrow and discuss face to face. If no question, you may write in the chat box. There is no Sandhya 1 or Sandhya 2? Okay, Rohit. No questions. So see you tomorrow in the classroom. Jai Hind.